Welcome back. Joining me now from our sponsors at Brazen Brewing are Ashley and Drew, who are participating in WIVB's Beer Passport program that you can take advantage of now. Welcome, you two. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Of course. Let's start off by talking about Brazen Brewing and what you have to offer.
Yeah, so we've been in business now for about 3 years. We are a full-service restaurant, brewery, beer garden, and we have 2 covered patios and outdoor pergola.
Oh, nice. Not 1, but 2 patios. You hear that? We'll get back to that in a second. But let's talk about your brews and what sets you apart from the rest.
We have 20 some odd brews usually on. We like to vary our styles from, the more classic, Kolsch's and ambers to, wacky and fun things like, sours and seltzers that are heavily fruited and whatnot.
Wine-inspired
Usually
beers.
Inspired by my wife here, but, yes, something that
She gets the creative juices flowing.
100% does.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you do have the brews, but it's not just that. You also offer cocktails and wines as well, right?
We do. We're a New York State farm brewery, which means that all of the liquors and wines that we have in-house are made or created in New York State. So our liquor program is small, it's very curated, but we do have a lot of craft cocktails and New York State wines that I like to try.
I love that. Okay, and it's not just the drinks, you mentioned it, but you have a full food menu. Tell us about some of the most popular food items.
We recently expanded our kitchen. I would say our burgers are probably our most popular item. We get a lot of compliments on them, but we've also recently started making a lot of our items from scratch. We do house-made salsa, house-made street corn. All of our queso and beer cheese is also house-made. So our pretzels are really popular, and we try to utilize our beer in as many of our food products as we can.
Okay. Let's talk about your location and the vibe that you kind of set when people come in.
So we're located on Genesee Street in Lancaster, and it's a little bit of a rural feel, so we wanted to lean into that when we were designing the building. Definitely has a farmhouse aesthetic, and I tried to create a space that was welcoming for both women and men. I always felt that some of the brewery vibes could be a little masculine, and I wanted it to be a place that felt very cozy.
Yeah, and we're seeing one of your patios right there as well. It does. I think you kind of mastered the farm feeling, but also very chic too.
Thank you.
It looks really cool.
Thanks.
Now people can actually host private events with you, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of private events, so many more in the last couple years. We love doing them, and we've done everything from corporate events to bridal showers, baby showers, and we've even done a few weddings now.
That's so cool. Awesome. So if someone wants to get in touch with you to host an event at Brazen Brewing, how can they do so?
The best way to get in touch with me is to email events@brazenbrewco.com.
Alrighty, let's get into the beers that you brought in for us today.
So starting over here, we have Lancaster Lager. That's probably our flagship, most popular beer. It's the most similar to a micro brew that you would buy in a grocery store, but I would say it's got a little bit of a fuller body. It's the beer we recommend when people come in and they're like, what do you have that tastes like a Budweiser or a Blue Light?
Okay.
Next is our Tiny Sombrero. That's our Mexican lager. It's got a great story behind the name, so ask a bartender next time you come in and order it. Served with a lime, similar to your favorite Mexican beer.
Cool.
Next up, we have Queen D. That is our flagship New England IPA, super juicy, not very hoppy, but it's got a really creamy, juicy mouthfeel. Next up, we have our Golden Hour Kolsch, which is just a really light, easy drinking summer beer. And then last up is Total Betty, which is our seltzer. It's a tropical summer seltzer. We make all of our seltzers in-house, and Total Betty is by far the favorite. We can't keep her in stock. Every time we can her up, she sells out, and we have people that come in and buy cases of it.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good
This
stuff.
is really cool. Okay, so it sounds like you have done really well in the 3 years that you've been around. What's next, or what's in store for the future?
We just try to keep improving the experience for our guests as much as we can. Drew and I did not come from the brewery restaurant industry, so we've learned a lot in 3 years. We try to continue to keep learning and do what we can to make sure that we're providing the best experience we can, and we're going to keep doing that as we continue to grow and expand.
So what made you decide to go into this sort of business?
I was a home brewer for 10 years before we started Brazen, and when you're sitting there brewing beer, I think every home brewer can attest to this. You kind of say, I could do that. I could do it for professionally, and my hobbies tend to spin out of control a little bit and get ahead of me. But
well, it seems like you guys are kind of like the perfect match, right? She has the creativity, you have the skills to do it.
Yeah.
We try.
I figure out what she wants to do.
I love it. Keys to a good marriage, too. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more. Viewers, if you want to give our sponsors at Brazen Brewing a try, you can get a $45 gift certificate to get a whole flight from them and 6 other participating establishments. Just visit beourguestbuffalo.com to claim your certificate today. And thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.